Hello, readme. Hello, hello, hello. Cute math. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing all right. You haven't streamed in a while too. At least I haven't seen you live. Did you finish Silksong? Yes, I did. Don't have much free time. Yeah, same for me. I haven't streamed for like 6 months because of lack of free time too. But now I am a little bit back. My life stabilized a little bit, so we can do some more streaming. Yeah, but yeah, I finished Silksong on 100% and got pretty much all achievements you can get from a single save file. Yeah, so the only achievements I don't have are speedrunning achievements and Steel Soul achievements. And one like secret achievement that I'm not gonna spoil in case people did not play the game. You work 6 days a week. Takes away, yeah. Oof. Are you on that like, 996 grind? I also fixed Streamlabs chat, added some custom CSS. So now chat should work on both like dark and light background and should be reasonably readable. So yeah. And get path of running executable. Hmm. Read link? Why'd you use read link though? Interesting. Ah, I know why they don't do like read entire file because read entire file can't read procfs because procfs is a fake file, so it doesn't report you the length. That's actually pretty interesting workaround. I like that, right? So if you do ls that la, I guess, proc self exe, you will see that, right? It is like technically, it is a symlink to an actual executable that's being run. I ran ls, so that's why it reports a current executable as ls. So this is actually a very like smart way of doing this. Why do you not use Focus Editor? Main reason is because there are some functionality I rely on in Emacs, like heavily, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And also, it's just a habit that's very hard to break. Someone building Next Temple OS. Hey Shashwat, somebody but not me. Yeah, welcome to the stream. Time to implement. Yeah, Obiwanus offered me to do it. And in response, in kind of in return, I will be maintaining Linux version of Focus. But man, I just can't commit to it. Like I can't in a good faith to maintain a seriously like used open source project because my life situation can change anytime, and then yeah Ilionte kind of rage quit Jai. Yeah. Hey Maria, hello. Welcome, welcome. I was just like being happy about readlink used for proc_self.exe because it's kind of smart because you can just do it with nvim with just regular open, right? And then if you do this, it actually reads it as if you read vim executable itself. Right, you can see that symbols here are all new vim symbols. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I know, for some reason this makes me happy. This makes me happy. Seeing how procfs gets rid with the readlink. But yeah, so why am I even looking at readlink, right? I want to normalize file of path of my log file because for now I just open it as like this /log.txt, which works in most cases when a user just clicks on an executable. It will read a log file. But on Linux, what happens is that this gets relative to the current working directory, and current working directory is not necessarily aligned with the directory of executable that you're running. Current working directory is literally what gets passed to the process, right? So in this case, directory is aligns with the log file. But if I go to any other file, then Emacs just changes it under the hood. And so yeah, who the fuck knows? And I think if you run executable from like desktop file, current working directory will also be somewhere like in one of the XDG gears, I think. Right. This actually also means that getting proc_self.exe might not be the best way to do it because maybe someone decides to package this software, in a way where it gets installed to like /opt, and then log file will get stored into, you will need to have like sudo access to a log file. So maybe maybe I need to just store log file in like var logs or something. The place you would normally store files on Linux. Yeah, one of the base dir specs. But I don't really want to, like go super hard on these. Because technically, I think XDG data is what you should use. Because I think logs don't have their own, right? Do they? I think logs don't have their own like specified directory. I think it's XDG data dirs. I can also do it in config, and then I can also, I guess, support config, well, for config files. We can do that because I also thought that how the way I'm gonna distribute my program is basically by providing you zip archive that you extract to whatever you want, and then you just kind of run executable. But maybe people want to have a desktop file for it, right? And then I probably need to also support like a desktop entry. And for now, I am reading log file and I'm writing to log file and reading config file from the same directory where executable is. So it means that if somebody just drops this executable into their like local share, blah, 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 or whenever they keep the executable, then the log and config file will be in a weird places that people don't really expect to have them. And Linux people get very unhappy when you write text files in directories they don't expect to, right? So maybe this is something I need to handle before I release. So maybe supporting at least some kind of subset of XDG spec is not that bad of an idea, even though I personally don't really want to do it. So yeah, maybe we start there. And let me also open the XDG spec. I guess I can do it like this. Yeah. So XDG spec on Linux is just a set of conventions that software is supposed to use when it wants to store different files. So for example, we have right. So we have directory for all config files that's supposed to read this environment variable, and if it's not configured, we kind of just fall back to home/.config. Yeah, this is, I guess, the main one with which most of Linux users are familiar. Yeah. So the way I can see it working is that when where's my main? Yeah. So at the start of my main, I can just call something like initialize logger, and after that, where are settings? I wonder why I decide to read settings after I'm running the window. Is there any reason for me to do it? I guess, yeah, I guess, I was thinking that I can do it in case, parsing settings fails, and then I could maybe display a warning in the window itself. So yeah. So I might do this. And I need settings for now. It just literally, yeah. So it just kind of relies on get path of running executable. So settings is hard coded to do this. And so in order for me to unhard code it, hey Yashin, hello, or I don't know how do I pronounce your name correctly. Yeah, hello. So I can put them on a state. So I have a program state struct, which is global to my entire program. And it has a bunch of, yeah, it's basically just a state, right? So what mapping we have active, whether we're listening to a mapping or overriding, what profile is currently running, what and UI settings go here as well. So this is just kind of fat struct of whatever happens in the program. I didn't bother to make it somewhat nested, so maybe UI stuff gets its own namespace because it's small, so everything is just kind of inlined here. And what I can have here is also log file path, right? And also config file path. I can have these as well. The most base struct of all time, yeah. Plex. Plex gang. And they can sort of have default values, right? So maybe log file path is log.txt, so kind of like this. And these, let me probably rename it. Or what do they even, how do I even call it? It's settings that is OCD. Yeah. Stupid file format I came up with. And so I can probably remove these. And then when I am initting the stuff, I can probably let me think. I'm gonna kind of think about I guess Windows and Linux, both of them. Right, so when we need settings, what's this? Path of running executable. Should parse config file name. Yeah, so I guess I can also do I bet this is already initialized by this point, right? Because I think it's at the very start. Yeah, like this. And it seems like we need to move logging slightly further. Yeah, and we need to I need to move this, all of this, into some sort of platform init logging. That's gonna just be the name. And init logging, we can put it somewhere on top. This is some mapping to, yeah, this is some experiments. Set preset, file partial copy, logger. Yeah, so these are all related to logging. So what I can do is just put them right here. It's not gonna, probably shouldn't accept any parameters. It just, and then here we find the log file. So where do we find the log file? Let's think about it. Log file location will be platform dependent. On Windows, having them together with an executable is kind of a normal practice. So we'll probably just leave it like that. On Linux, we first try in some of the execdir. And I guess that's it, right? We just kind of assume that whatever we try will be accessible. Because at the moment, I don't need to think about any breaking changes because nobody but me ever used this program on Linux. So yeah, I don't even need to bother with this. Up there. But then I need to think about like I don't want it to have to potentially have two different directories, because then somebody comes to the issue tracker and I will say, give me the logs. Logs are either in this directory or in this directory. I don't want to do that. I want to just give me the logs. Logs are in this folder. Something like that. Mm. Oh, excuse me. Sleep deprivation is a bitch. So let's check it. I might just do it all in config. Honestly, maybe I just use config for everything. Then maybe it's fine. What else do you have? Single base directory relative to which user specific state data. What does it mean, state data? Set of preference ordered base directories related to which data files should be searched. HG data dirs. Yeah, I can do home.socd, but then I will get a lot of like angry replies that dot files in my home directory. I just don't want to deal with that, because I know that as soon as I release this for Linux, a bunch of fucking entitled degenerates will come to my DMs requiring features and maintenance. So I don't want to, be on their bad side from the start. I want them to like me. Yeah, kind of. All right. Um, so XDG state home, local state, contains state data that should persist between application restarts. So this action history logs history recently used files. So this is what I need. Do I even have it defined on my computer? XDG. I have data dirs. Shit, Nix profile. Insane. Yeah, I tried Nix. And I have local share. So this is data dirs, but state home is empty. Do I have local state? I do. Nice. PNPM, wire plumber. Let me explore it a little bit. State heroic. So yeah, it literally stores logs. Nice. And for NVIM, also stores logs. Right, so we can do that. Current blah blah blah. Where's if XDG state home is either not set or empty, a default equal to home local state should be used. And then if it happens to not exist, because right, so let's say NixOS. Does this even exist on NixOS? I doubt it is. Let me quickly check. XDG state home NixOS. Home Manager. Oh, it does. Okay, okay, so seems like we're good. Excuse me. Mhm. Right, so I guess we can use this for logs then. Um, right, so what do? We do like this is just pseudocode xdg state home, right? If not xdg state home, then we do something like encoder in local state, yeah, or I guess it's like, I mean, yeah, local state, and then we do something like and then we find log file over there. Yeah, and then we find the file over there. Nice. I like had a module somewhere that like half-assed. Yeah, I think this one. This was some like super over-engineered. Oh my god. Yes, there was like super over-engineered module I wrote to have like thread-safe environment variables setter. SRC Discord is arguing about SOCD cleaner. Are you serious, Python? Hello, by the way. Yeah, you see, I have like fucking spin that I was planning to use together with like atomic writes and stores. I haven't finished it. I haven't finished it, but yeah, I just started to write it and then something distracted me. But yeah, it was supposed to be super like over-engineered environment variable, right? So you could conditionally enable fucking libc interop, so it gets like from libc get storage, or you could just read from the stack. So on Linux, when you init environment, yeah, you can just envp, you can just like read in envp directly, and either use global environ or use the stack pointer from command line arguments. This is like so stupid. And then there's some shitty ass parser that stores environment variables in a hash table. I don't know. I don't know. I think I wasn't in a very clear state of mind when I did this. But yeah, it kind of works. It sort of works. It's not thread safe, but it does give you a hash table of environment variables. On Linux. Fair for people to bring it up if they don't want a ruling made by other people for previous game to transfer it over. So how did it come down? Do people want a SOCD cleaner or not? Also, what the fuck is chat display? Why does it? Why the fuck chat overlay insists on, you know, having like a tabled view? This is fucked. Okay, I see. Most people are fine, nice. But yeah, I'm working on it, not because of that. Anyway, I'll just probably... So first of all, what did we decide? We decided that it is a platform specific thing, right? So instead of doing just this, we're gonna do log file success. Well, not log file. Which log file is gonna be like that, like a file abstraction. I should probably put it here to on the state. I go eat now. Good luck. We got HK debug ported. Yeah, that's very cool actually. And have a nice meal. Oh yeah, and it supports reading environment variables at fucking compile time because Jai doesn't give you access to the stack pointer at compile time. Like it doesn't let you see its own compile like command line arguments. So I have to read them from procfs. So it's as you can see, it is a little bit over engineered, this module. But I mean, environment variables are stupid and very kind of hacky and unsafe. So I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Maybe I'll just copy it here, and who the fuck knows. Sync from libc setenf. This is just... yeah. Anyway. Anyway, I'm not gonna bring it yet. Maybe later. Init logging. So here we do platform. You know what? Maybe init logging should be like a part of platform initialization. Let me check main again. What I like more. So we do this. Then we literally do platform init. Yeah, so I think init logging should go to the platform, like fully to the platform. So using current program state, right? And then first we init logging. Like first of all, we do... And I should probably even do it in line, because why would I extract it? So yeah. So what do I do? We do xdg state home equals get env, and get env we do xdg state home, and I'm pretty sure it's without this thing, data, right? And get env, I think it only accepts a single character star. Yeah, that's it. And string literals in Jai are null terminated, so I don't have to do any nulls. And then I want to do if like raw, then we do this logdir, logdir, or maybe actually I should use path. There was, I think it's just literally path, right? No, is it file utilities? Yeah, it is file utilities, and I think I'm already using them here. No, I do not. I do not. I should probably. Am I using them here? Yeah, I'm using them here. Fine. So I can just straight up use it here because this file gets loaded. And so in Jai, for those of you who don't know, Jai has both import and load. And import is Jai own thing, right? Because Jai has a concept of modules. And load is more like C include. That's why when you load the file, it gets access to everything that's in the namespace of the file that that got it loaded. So that's why even though in Linux we don't import any like file utilities, we import them in main, and so Linux that Jai gets access to them. And there you go. So we get env if row do logdir. So logdir should be path. Yeah, we have, you see, path is kind of like a struct that contains words, right? So it's just this. And then we, when we are done with it, we can just path to string. Yeah, we can just literally get path. We can get the string, and then we can open the string with regular OpenSyscall. So that's actually pretty cool. So let's do logdir is path. Then we do row. Yeah. Logdir. So we do array add logdir words. Do string row. And in this case, I'm just gonna use, should I use temp allocator? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because I expect this to sort of be accessible indefinitely on the state, or actually, know what, maybe state will get its own copy. So let's allocate it on temp for now. And we do word logdir words allocator equals temp. Yep. Then we do it like this. Else, whoa. Array add logdir words, and string will be that local dot state, right? That local dot state, yeah. Nice. After that, look, we add another word, and word was gonna be hitboxer, our application name. Array daa, array add, and then another one, log.txt. This is gonna be a log file. After that, let's print and see what we got. Logdir, and is it to string? Path to string, yeah. Path to string. I don't think this is just gonna compile, right? Because I kind of broke a lot of stuff. Init logging, let's just remove that from Actually, let me just comment it out because I'm not gonna need to steal some code from it. Array DAA epic. And now main doesn't have log file. What's that? Partial file copy using current program state. Yeah. Where's that? Same. Same. Undeclared identifier success is gonna now be a completely new thing. And now we can, now we can finally compile. Now let's compile and run. So yeah, local state hitboxer log.txt. Nice. Cool. So we get this, and I assume this is the path we took because HDG state home doesn't exist. And what if we run our program as like XDG state home equals I don't know, fuck home blah 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 fuck hitboxer. Yeah, so it works. It works. We read the environment variable. Nice. This part works. And parsing it to string works as well. And I don't think this one does it on temp allocator. I think it uses the context one, right? So it uses a string builder and then it uses builder to string. Yeah, so it does, it uses whatever allocator is on the context. Nice. Which is under the hood, I think it's Jaiport of rpmalloc or something like that. I don't entirely remember. It's not important. So after I do this, actually I should probably, before I'm adding that, I need to ensure that I have this folder created. So this is like this crazy function that Jai provides, how much of path exists on the local file system. You get the path and it like, right? I mean, the name is pretty descriptive, right? So if you give it all of that, it will tell you that this exists and everything that's like hitboxer / log.txt does not exist. I actually don't know if it works. I've never tried it myself, and it it actually should, I guess it probably should work on Linux, and it's very like ghetto. I think it just got, some basic implementation with, future work required, because you can see the comments and you can see there is just no error handling and whatnot. And so the comment here says, yeah, for now, I just wanted to get this working. Super disgusting thing, blah, blah, blah. So I think this is a very cool one to check, to use, but I don't want to rely on it. And if it doesn't work, I don't really want to debug it for now. Excuse me. Oh, what's that? I see. No, non-temporary. Yeah. So this is like just for memory management. But I pretty much said that my path is gonna be on temp allocator, so it should be fine. Yeah, trailing slash number of leading slashes header string. I see. Yeah. I don't need any of that. So what I should do is instead of calling that, should I actually let me try it out because it just sounds very convenient. Let's just literally call it. And we call it, should we call it log path? Because log path is like on the state. Right, it's called it's called log file path and log file. So let's change this all. Let's change this all. And the API is fully exists. How much? Let's print that as well. So fully exists. How much? Let's see what it says. False 0. Oh, it's because fuck hitbo. Wait, what? Why does it say 0? I mean, home definitely exists. Why does it say 0? So let me remove that. Yeah, you look at this 0. You know why? Maybe because it doesn't expand home on Linux. Path so far, path so far. So path so far is an empty string for words, if this or that. Number of leading slashes. We just join path so far with a slash. Does stat not work with tildes? Because let me cheese it by doing this. So false 1. So 1 exists. So it doesn't mean slash home exists or what? What does 1 mean? Last existing index. You know why? Because this is a... Yeah, so this exists. Because this is a full word. Since I don't split it. Right? Since I don't split it by slash. This is a one word. Which means the state directory itself exists. But nothing else. And if I create a local state, now it's gonna say 2. Yeah, now it's gonna say 2. Yeah. And if I say touch log.txt, now it's gonna say, now it's gonna return true. Yeah, now it's true 3. Yeah. Right, so it doesn't do it with home, so it doesn't do this. It doesn't know about that. Does it just not handle it, or is it something inherent to... So is this like a bug in this logic, or not a bug, just an oversight, or it's literally something that stat doesn't know how to deal with? Because yeah, I assume, yeah, it does do stat. Get file status. let's see, Linux stat tilde. Stat libc tilde. So it doesn't refer to it. Because maybe shell expands that, right? Yeah, so stat. Yeah, so I know maybe shell expands this. Let's look at path so far. So 4 path words. Number of leading slashes. Path so far equals it. Right, so path so far should literally be this. Right, so let's print path so far. I like that you can literally just change standard library of Jai. Yeah, you see, it does contain tilde, but seems like stat doesn't expand it. So this is done by the slash itself, which means I need to get user's home directory. Do you even have that? Yeah. Would this always be set though? It's like guaranteed to be set. Or will I have to do some crazy ass bullshit like get get ID or get UID and then concatenate it myself if home for some reason doesn't exist? This seems like super weird. For it to not be set, the user would have to really be fucking around. I mean, when I did do a bit of help on Focus Editor, we had a couple users who had like LC, which of those like LC, or like locale. I forgot which of them. Lang, yeah, yeah. One of the users had lang fucked up, so literally incorrect here, and so the editor would just break on him. It wouldn't, like support Unicode because of fucking X11 locales because lang was incorrect. So this can happen, but I guess home is more. Home is like worse. Probably not having home is harder to achieve. Right, so I guess I need to do this user home equals get env home. If not user home, would not determine your home directory path and initialize logging. I wish I could like just go to out of here. Because I kind of want to proceed, but so you can't have labels on scopes in Jai and then you like break, something like this. You can't do that. So I have to indent. else we do this, then we do array added log path words user home, and this is like uString. And then we do just add local.state. I guess I can even do it like this, local and then state. Right. And then if we run, assuming I did it all correctly, yeah, true 5, right? So it works. Yeah, so it kind of works. False 3, yeah. I know that home VJ is 1, then this is 2, this is 3. So up to here has, and then we need to do that and that. Encoder and that. So actually 1, 2, 3. So 4 and 5. No, I don't want to add them as two different words because this is 1 and then this is 2 and then the comparison becomes confusing. Yeah, so I'm gonna do state. I'm gonna do this together. And oh shit. I also want to do all of this on like temp allocator. So I can later just reset it on the next frame. And the only thing that gets hard copied is my like actual log path that I will store on the state. Nice. And so now if we do that, we'll do 2. So if how much is 2? So 1 and 2. Then we know that we need to create this and that. Right. Yes, so if not exists. What are we doing even? If how much equals 2. XDG state home exists, but Hitboxer directory does not. Create is it folder or directory if it something like that, or it's folder. There was some long ass name. No, not folder. Or is it make directory? Let me search like if it does make directory if it does not exist. Okay. Directory if it does not exist. And we do so log file path equals, so this is on a state, path to string log path. And this path to string should be not on temporary locator. This should be on a default one, yeah. So here we have it, log file path. And I guess we can just kind of split it here. So split log file path by slashes, and then here we do splitted. Wait, no, I don't want to like split and then join. How do I better organize it? Because I know. So logdir is gonna be path to string. This is what I'm gonna do. And this is gonna be on temp because I'm gonna free it. Then I'm array adding it. This is just debug print. And now if two, then we can do logdir. Yeah, there you go. Else if how much equals 3, then we just kind of create this. We actually don't need to handle that. Anything else? This is unexpected situation. We should just bail. Are we allowed to create local state? So if it does not exist, are we allowed to create it? I think doing it would be kind of pretentious for the user. Hmm. I don't know. It could be one. So else if how much equals 3, this is like, right, not equal 3. 3 is when hitboxer directory does exist, but log file itself does not, which is fine. Anything else is not expected. So let me put it here. So anything else is not expected, which means we need to could not create a log file because xdg state home or local state do not exist. Yeah, I guess. So then we do can proceed or log dir initted equals false. If we do this, else if log error, else so if 3. So let's do this and then move the error case here as the last one. So this means yeah, true, true, assuming this succeeds. I guess it returns directory now exists. Yeah, so This is such a hairy code. There's probably like a way to make it nicer, but this is just like so much code to do such a simple thing. I don't know. There's probably like a way to make it nicer without it. This is very straightforward and understandable, but I don't like how much it is. And it's all because I can't just put log file together with an executable. I really don't like that. Else log error could not create box, could not create directory to store a log file. The log file attempted to mkdir like this and logdir. Now, else blah blah blah. Luger file, yeah. Oh, yeah. You look at how much code it is, right? This is just so much code. And on top of this, there is a rotation, right? So now there is a justification for me to extract it in a separate library. If I happen to do it, can I use Luger as a name library, as a name for the library? Luger, the Jai logger library. Singer head or Luger, yeah. Well, in Jai, there are no headers in Jai, right? In Jai, it would just be a module. It would just be like either file that is named luger.jai that you then you can in Jai you can just do import file and then right, you can do this. Or if this file is in your modules directory, you can just do this. Or it can be a folder with module.jai inside, and you can also do this. So if I'm gonna extract this later, I'm gonna use the Luger name, and we'll credit you as an author of a name idea. All right. So if not full exist else, yeah, true. So I think this is fine. And then this is also just a debug print. Do we even compile? Look at this. It compiles first try. Credits for being an LLM man page search. No. Luger. Oh yeah. Yeah. So is it actually first try though? No such file or directory. I think something is wrong. Oh, could not create a directory. Attempted to mkdir this. Yeah, look at this. So something is wrong. Oh, local state. Fuck. Wait, what? Local state. Oh, yeah, because I forgot to delete this. Never mind. Now it's first try. Wait, where's my... I accidentally deleted. Yeah, now it exists. Right here, Hitboxer. Yes, first try. Cool. So now that I have this all, I can finally do the log file. So we have log file path, and now if I go to my main, now I can do this. Is it? Yeah, this is kind of like a success logic. Now I can do that. Uncomment this and then indent region. Yeah. Epic Emacs. And now for some reason, this is not a part of the region. Bruh. An Epic Emacs. Now we do log file. I think success also exists here. Is it not? Log file path. Right, and keep existing content true. If not success, could not open the log file. Your errors will not be logged. What? This should not be deferred though. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just never close the file. Actually, I close it when I rotate it. Let me refresh my memory about rotating logic. Excuse me, had to cough. So we open a new file. Let me do some math. Yeah, so here, I'm closing the file here. I'm closing the file, and then I should reopen it. Yeah, and then I'm reopening it. Nice. So I just don't close it here. So let me. So I think we're fine. Oh. And then vim local state. Yeah, cool. You're still really happy with the rotate technique? Yeah, me too. I actually unironically enjoy it. It's one screen of code at a relatively large font, right? And it basically does like send file and then a little bit of a file handle management. I don't enjoy thinking about how do I do the same shit on Windows, because on Windows there is no send file. And so far, oh hey, Vladimir Putin on YouTube, what the fuck, I completely missed that. Hello, what you do for a living? I am doing programming, but this is only ethical programming. Please don't put me in jail and don't torture my family. But for money, I do mostly web-related programming. So you're not as cool as this. Unfortunately. And let me check my phone because I got a message. But it seems like it's important. Give me a second, I'll answer it. Right. We're good. This is also like Linux specific logic. This should probably go in there somewhere. Anyway, so we can delete this, we can delete that. I like this method. I like this thing. It's actually very handy. It's a bit sketchy to use because it barely has any sort of error handling under the hood. But I mean, like, who fucking cares? And I have error handling of my own. Now, if I rerun it multiple times, mkdir recursive. Yeah. You like split the path, and then you check each kind of inode, whether it's like file or a directory. Yeah. Hey Ropit, hello, welcome. Nice. So we do this, and now we have log file, and log file is on the state now. And let me, you know what? Let me remove this to see if logs actually get populated. Boom. Hey, look at this. We have our logs. New theme. I'm just experimenting a little bit. I'm okay with this theme, but maybe we will return back the green one. Haven't decided yet. Oops. Yeah, nice. And so if I add mapping, yeah, mapping is before, set source, set destination, mapping is after. Yeah, we log in. We do be logging. Boom. Nice. Nice. If I do this, it also logs. Yes, source D. Cool. Cool. We do be logging. Cooking meat. Let's go. What kind of meat? So now if I go here, I can remove log.txt. I can remove pig meat. Nice. See, I have like log.txts everywhere. Delete it from here. Bro, where is... I can delete it from here. I can delete it from here. And I can delete it from here. Yeah. Bulgarian style. Marinated. Nice. I don't exactly know what is Bulgarian style marinated, but I like marinated pork as well. Well, I'm marinating it in multiple different ways depending on how I feel. Oh yeah, what kind of meat? Dicks. True. Preach. So seems like log situation is done for, and I'm not gonna focus on Windows one. For now. I'm just gonna oh yeah, this is bad too. So wait, this is bad for rotation. I need to, so maybe I do store logdir separately. So log file dir, log file name, right? file name, config file. Maybe I stored them as path. I don't know, storing them as path is kind of dumb. Because, you know, I will have to convert it every time to string when I need to open it. So yeah, let's do it like this for now. It's kind of dumb, I know. Config file dir. I don't need to provide defaults in this case. Config file name. Config file dir. So in here, log dir, we can do this. Yeah, and then we don't allocate it with temp. Log file dir. Log file path. Do I store also? This seems like a bit excessive to me. So I don't want to store it as a path struct because it means every time I would have to convert it to string. And seems like it's rational to do only once at a startup. On the other hand, when I'm rotating, I would then have to split and join. You know what? This is what I'm gonna do. Yes, I'm gonna split and join. Yeah, fuck that. Let me leave it like this. And then here, when I'm gonna do file partial copy, which really should be fucking rotate log. So what I do here is I'm gonna take split log file path, and then I do dir equals like splitted. So it's gonna be like temp log file equals, it's gonna be like I guess join. This is my create directory code. Forgot the release. Scratch in my copy pasta. Release scratch. I see. Code. Directory code, and the way I handle error location is substring from the valid path at call site if needed. Substring from the valid path at call site. Split path by string for, yeah, let me, wait, where is the browser window? There is none. Wait a second. Yeah, there you go. Let's read it together. So create directory. You install a Scratch, which is kind of like, I know what it is. I read the like Handmade Hero / Ryan Fleury's article. So this is basically temporary allocator. Like this is like, yeah, temporary memory that gets released somewhere at the end. So you split string by path, by this, by slash, on the Scratch arena. And then you iterate over entries, so over path chunks. Then you do partial string. Then you get it as C string. Then if it doesn't exist, right? And then if you not mkdir it, your result is valid false. And result is some kind of a like struct that, wait, what? You return result. Yeah, directory create result. So whatever it is, I assume it's just some like struct. Yeah. Stat if stat C partial file info equals 0 and is there valid path equals partial. A bool and a string. Yeah, I see. Yeah, that's pretty clean. That's pretty clean. It's cleaner in a sense that instead of iterating over chunks and slowly adding them to the string, you create a whole path at once, and then you split it apart, and then you iterate by chunks, kind of concatenating them back. So you do it slightly kind of backwards compared to Jai's implementation, but it ends up being cleaner because you rely here. I mean, I assume, right, that you rely on the fact that they are still in memory together, because here, when I'm gonna join them by slash, it's gonna allocate new memory because join is a generic function, right? So, and it doesn't know that the splitted string can be like partially joined together. Kind of, sort of. Well, then I will have to append another like subchunk to it, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, in this case, this is kind of, this is the clean part. Or I guess rather this part, because yeah, you allocate everything on temp, in temp, and then you iterate by chunks. But yeah, and also I guess the difference is that you start from string and we start from path. So sort of, I guess, purpose is a little bit different. Temporary C string without a second scratch. Yeah, because you need null terminator, right? Yeah, because you need null terminator. You know what you could do? A couple kilobytes between friends here. What you could do is like a little bit stupid, but just hear me out. So when you allocate a string path, you allocate a couple extra bytes at the end of the string by the amount of slashes, which means that your string has like n extra bytes at the end for null terminators. And then when you do copy C string, or I guess when you split string by string, when you split string by string and you get path, you know what you do? You kind of use it as a tiny gap buffer, if you know what gap buffer is. So you split it by slash, but then you kind of, swap like slash and a null terminator. And then, so you have an extra mem copies, but it is mem copies within the same memory region, and you only pay penalty for extra null bytes. Yeah, so you don't have to have a separate buffer. You see what I mean? So if you really want to save memory for text editor, yeah, so you know what I mean. You like literally you like literally add a little bit of a gap at the end for potential node terminators, and then when you get past chunks, you just use a little bit of a mem copy magic to mess with the Scratch arena. And I think it doesn't matter at the end, right? Because you never need to assemble the path back, right? Because you copy it to Scratch. So this path never gets broken. So you only pay extra memory here when you like, so you like get Scratch, but maybe you have a slightly like specialized maybe Scratch for path operations. So you don't just split it by slash, because it's a generic string. You would have something split string by path separator. And then each chunk ends up having null terminator at the end. Yeah. So that's my genius idea. And with that said, since we took a little bit of a W here, no, let me finish this part first. Yeah, I'll finish this part and then I will go take a bathroom break. File in, split it with split log file path, and then I want to allocate another path, there was like a split right, I think. No? Was it just split? Split from right, not split right. Yeah, this is what I want. So I actually want split from right. Log file path, and the byte is gonna be car slash. Does it do just one? Index from right. Yeah, this is while. Yeah, this is just once. Nice. So I do this by slash, and then found left and right. So found left, right. And what do I even do here? If not found or not or right not equals I mean, it might be real, it's just log txt, right? But can login errors? Yeah, I just need to do this literally, right? Log support default logger. That's the only thing I can do. Something is wrong with the log file path. Does it accept format string message? No, it needs already like a formatted message. So if log file path doesn't have slash in it, and is not log.txt for some reason, can it even happen? I don't think it can happen. I'll just fucking assert here. You know what? I'll just assert. Found something wrong with the log file path. I think assert. Not in the Windows, in the message string. So it doesn't have. Where is it in basic? What? Ah, there you go. Yeah, args. So assert helper. The fuck is assert helper? Message args. Ah, it uses tprint. I see. So it's fine. Something is wrong with the log file path. And I guess log file path. And then assert right equals log.txt. It doesn't matter, right? If log file name is something different than it should be, this literally doesn't matter. Anyway, just assert found. And then what we do is we just try to file open on join. And we do left. How does join works? I kind of forgot. So inputs and then separator, yeah. So we do left, then log new.txt, or new, maybe just do temp.txt, and then separator equals like slash. Yeah, for writing true. Left. And then if not success, and then else. Let me do just print for now. Rotating. Ah. Yeah, and join should be like on temp. On temporary allocator. So it can be then, hey, hello. Yes, so it then can be rotated properly. Then what else? This, I'm pretty sure this does not allocate. Yeah. And now let me max log file size. Let me do something like 500 bytes and see if it works. Right, so blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, are we rotating logs or what? No? Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm literally Yeah, I need to remove that because I'm logging to the wrong place. Oh shit, what the fuck? Rotating. All right, yeah. Let's do a bit more, not 500 bytes, but maybe 1500, yeah. Why am I rotating so much? Huh? Where are stars? Excuse me. Is something different? Yeah, there is. Oh. Yeah. Because I should not only like create log temp. I need to also kind of, because I changed the name and it was hard coded. Yeah. Poof. Nice one. Shit. Bananas rotate. What's that? You have reached maximum velocity. Fucking. This is some niche meme. Anyway, so we do that. We do all of this. Rotating logs, and then we move them back. So we move. Let me. Temp log path. Right. Temp log file path. Do it like this, and I think I'm like always creating this garbage as file that's just a single quote. And then if it's all successful, I need to move temp file over to log file path. There you go. This should be a semicolon. Boom. Rotating a bunch of crap. And now log. Oh, look at this. And now if we like, yeah, look at that. Why is it rotating so much though? It like rotates after one message. I mean, no way it's like 1.5 kilobytes. 1.5 kilobytes should be a lot of memory. Length. This is just like a little bit of bytes. Let me put it as like 10 kilobytes. 10, 5. Yeah, let me make sure that it's right. Okay, yeah, probably it was actually this much. Boom. Boom. What else? Let's close the program, open it again. So it like adds a bunch of crap, and then close it and open it again. And now we are, oh wow, that's a lot of rotation. So something is not right. Look at this crap. So I broke something. What did I log? So if length, I suspect that this is the part where it's slightly not thread safe. And this is where I kind of wanted to, but no, this is too much rotating actually. I have like, I would expect this to happen from maybe 2 different spots, but not this. This is too much. We're not dealing with threads here. It's just I have a unified logger and it can be called from multiple threads because multiple threads might want to log. And now it's not literally thread safe because I just write logs to file, and if multiple threads try to write to file when the file is too big, all of them will try to rotate it. And so I will have, you know, this amount of rotations. But this shouldn't be happening. And it wasn't a big deal because I didn't used to rotate my log before. So beforehand, what kind of threads? So there is UI thread. So the thread that kind of, yeah, handles UI of the program itself. Then there's another thread that actually handles a global operating system input handling that intercepts keyboard inputs and outputs them to the virtual device. It is separate because I don't want UI to, you know, stop keyboard handling for the entire operating system. On top of that, there's another thread that handles detecting currently focused window so that profiles work. And then there's another thread that does health check. It just sends a fake key code to the input handling thread and checks if it hangs, because we grab keyboards, and so if we grab keyboard and then we start hanging, you kind of get hard locked of using your program. And so that health check thread checks if we are hard locked, and if that's the case, it just forcibly ungrabs the keyboards. Yeah, hey, how? Yeah, we are hitboxing really hard. We are hitboxing so hard that we broke our logging a little bit. But this shouldn't really be happening. So it shouldn't interrupt after every loaded library. This is not right. Like, this is not right. Because what should happen is that, okay, we call the log, right? Log detects that the length of the file is too big. Shadowboxing, yes. It rotates the log file. And that's it. And then after we rotated the log file, this should never happen again. The thing is that I just don't have this many threads. Actually, you know what? Maybe it's no, it is this many threads, because look at this. This is how much rotating is called. I might choose to not debug it now, because if it's literally just a race condition, yeah, you can. Yes, that's my idea. So if it's just a race condition, I might just not handle it at all, because the way I'm planning to do it is I would have a very simple, multiple producers, one consumer pattern, where threads just write into a fucking ring buffer their logs, and then there's a separate thread for logging that will consume those logs and print them into the file. So I, don't write into a file during input handling, so that there are no potential stalls. This is the idea. This is what I'm gonna do. So if it's just a race condition, in this case, I might not even care, because this is not a production code. This is just, you know what I mean. But as a hack currently, I can check current thread. number, and I think the way I do it is by checking the context. So let me do context base. I think this one. Yeah. That's the idea. Just simple, multiple producers, one consumer. In runtime support. Thank you, comment. There you go. Yeah, thread index. There you go. Let's print thread index here. That's the idea, because I want to have a different. So before, so what I would do before is, before in release mode, I would not log anything during the input handling at all, because I didn't want to write to file. And this is obviously bad, because sometimes your program breaks on people's computers because of different reasons, right? Like antiviruses can unhook you on Windows like easily, or something doesn't have access, or some other crap. So naturally, I need to have some kind of logging. But if you add logging unconditionally, then your input handling is bad. So what I did is, in my UI, I had this debug more logs, right? And it would enable debug logs, and I still just don't want to deal with writing logs to file during like production build. And if I implement this multiple kind of producers, one consumer, then I probably don't even need this checkbox at all. I would probably just log everything I want. Nice wobbling effect. Right. So let's cause rotating again. Let's relaunch. Yeah. Oh, and it's all from main thread. Well, it's all from main thread, and then there's one here. Look at that. And there's one, I guess, race condition. And then it's like racing again. So yeah. So there is a bug. There is a small race condition, of course. This is fine. But there's also this shit. The fuck is that? I know why. This is why. This is why. Because maybe I couldn't get file length, and then maybe it tries to another old path. So this is gonna be log file path. So maybe this, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Let's run. Okay, and there is another one here. In rotating. There you fucking go. After rotate, this is the actual bug. This is it. This is an actual one. And let me. Where else? So this is fine. This is build string. This is main. Could not delete and runtime support. Yeah. Yes. It will always try to rotate because it doesn't truncate. Yeah, not because it. Like we open a different file here, right? After moving. Then you open this file, which is a new file. Actually, this should be kind of an empty file. Huh. Yeah, I'm actually still not entirely sure. So I'm moving the correct file and then I'm opening the wrong file, but this one is truncated already. All right, yeah. I see, like after, oh, yeah. I understand now. So I think now this shit should be fixed. Yeah. Now we could have two truncations at the same time because we do have a race condition, but this race condition will be fixed when I implement a logger thread, a separate logger thread. Right, so now we only rotate once. There you go. Here's a rotation marker. Yeah. Easy clap, there you go. Bug fixed. Everybody's happy. Let me trigger one more rotation. Yeah, rotating again, boom, trimmed, nice. Nice. And I think I have created a bunch of log.txt's here again. Compilation is running. Yeah, let's. Yeah, there you go. You see, I created a big log.txt that's like gets spammed, and that's why we're truncating 15,000 times because that's like a wrong one. Yeah. Refactoring, copy paste, everyone. Cool. So this gets me a correct log path and oh, let me kill this particular chunk. Yeah, code copy pasting. So this and then this and then rotate log file. This and then yeah, that and let me uncomment this again. I should be realistically not. This is kind of a bad pattern, I think. It was fine when I started developing the program because it was, you know, just useful to see all of the logs in the console. But I feel like the bigger my logging code gets, the more this will shoot me in the foot because eventually I will introduce a bug to the logging system that I won't be able to catch because this bug only runs in release mode, right? And here I just literally default to std out. So I think I would probably remove this and always log to file. And then I will just eat an overhead as a developer, just kind of always doing something, I guess, less, right? So I guess that's what you do, right? Yeah, tail. Thank you. Not less, tail there. Yeah. So I just literally do this, I guess, and then when I compile, yeah, I just get more log output. So it seems like this is just a better pattern going forward for me. So I keep dog fooding my log system even when I'm developing. You know what I mean? Another thing I can do is I can create another window here that will pop up a window and display these logs kind of inline. Maybe together with like a key presses, so you see maybe together with these. Because logging that into a file will be super wasteful. Because that's literally only something you use. After truncation? Huh, that's actually a good point. right? Does it catches the situation when we get truncated? Let's check it out. Right, so 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is gonna take a while, so I need to do this again. Aha, no, it does not. You see, nothing gets logged. Because for tail, the line has scrolled past. Yeah, so tail doesn't quite work like this. So this needs something that drops back to head when the file gets truncated. You see, it doesn't work. Yeah, just straight up doesn't work. So every time it stops, I have to rerun tail or figure something out that detects when the file gets smaller. You can you can hack it with I notify, right? You can I notify happened. Let's rerun tail. Or not I notify. Yeah, you get I notify. You read the file. If you look like at the stars, you can do it. You can hack it, but it should be something built in. Realistically. But this gets removed. This gets absolutely removed. I need to dog food my own logging system because it gotten too fucking big. I didn't plan to get into a business of writing a logger library, but apparently we are pivoting, chat. Now we are logging startup. We're not a keyboard startup anymore. GG. Yeah. So we do this. We also do this. Rotate log file using current program state, like that. And what is this? Yeah. Now what? In Linux, this logs key code. This implements the logging situation on Linux, and then also build that file. I want to preserve debug info in release builds. Yes. So let's commit this. Put log.txt in SDG state home on Linux. Improve log rotation logic. Any loogers in the chat? Right, nice. So now I need to go take a bathroom break. Just a short one. Give me a couple minutes. I'm gonna BRB and I'm gonna give you some music. Like this. Yeah, Silent Hill OST will play until morale improves. I'll be right back. What the fuck, bro? Hey, Larin me. Or is this Iarin me? It's very unreadable font. Let me. It's Larin me. I don't know why I pasted it into Python. Don't ask. Привет, привет. Добро пожаловать. I will remove BRB. Okay, no, this is too sad for a music. Chat, you should tell me when the music is too sad. How can I work when I want to kill myself because of the music? Actually, I mean in Minecraft, you should really not... you really shouldn't say something like that on Twitch. It's actually kind of sort of Monkatos. In GTA RP chat. Only in GTA RP. So what do we do now? Now config file, yes. What the fuck is this threefold? This is quite hairy, right? So I think what we need to do is user home probably gets here. Because we were gonna use it for multiple things. Now we do log path. Blah 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 blah. We do a bunch of logarithms. After we did with logging, right, we need to deal with, I guess, config file. So we go to main, platform init. So config file situation is slightly different. Right, because we call init settings kind of from main. And I think this is all right if we call it from main. Because the only cross non-platform part of the logger is this one. This is, I think, purely Linux specific. Well, it is Linux specific up until this point. Or maybe up until this point it is Linux specific. And then this is platform independent. Not really, because I mentioned XDG state here, right? So I think it's fine if we have a little bit of a copy paste going on. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably reduce copy paste here. For now, let's keep it here. And the way I usually deal with these things is that I just implement one platform, like in line, and then when it is time to work on another platform, I'll just boot Windows, I press compile, it will obviously break, and then I will fix Windows in a way that will keep Linux working. And then I go back to Linux, press compile, and if something breaks, I will fix Linux. And this is like an indefinite cycle. I think after I ship both operating systems at once, I will need to either set up cross-compilation situation, like Jai supports cross-compilation. I actually never used it, I don't know how well it works. Or alternatively, and probably what I'm gonna do is just have like a virtual machine with Windows somewhere, so I don't have to boot there every time. I mean, when I need to test some basic changes, just to make sure it keeps compiling. I can also maybe run virtual machine somewhere on like CI server and just submit builds there, but I don't want to bother with installing the CI one. I'm not as cool as Ilionte, who had like his own build farm or some shit. We'll focus. Yeah, so let's deal with config file. Let's just literally open another namespace here. Not namespace, a scope. Logger setup, config setup. Right, and config literally just does the same thing. Config path. So what do I paste? I paste this. Oh, you know what? I can actually extract this. Like, if not home, your home directory path can't initialize logging and read config. Yeah, then we do like else. And we can remove this else. Nice. Do we still compile? We do. Epic. Else. Logger setup. And then config setup should probably be here as well. So xdg state. Home. Raw. This is an xdg state home. Poggers. So let me just literally copy this logic. Right, and this is literally the same exact logic. Yeah, so this is literally the same exact logic, but for different set of directories. You know what it means? It means that we can extract it probably straight away. So let me paste it here and rename it config path. Now, the only reason is that xdg config, right? Is it xdg config? Xdg base directory. Xdg config home. This is what it's called. So read xdg config home. If it doesn't exist, so it's gonna be config path, and it's gonna be xdg config home, and this is dot config. Then we do config path. And before I do another copy paste mistake, config path temp. This is also config path, and this is settings.socd. Yes, settings.socd. Then config file path, path to string, config path. Now we check how much does it exist. Right, so config dir initted. If not fully exist, and in this case fully exist is gonna be this, and how much. I think I can literally just remove that. So if 2, let's actually use string here, and then we don't need to do toString over here, and also next here we don't need to do toString over here. This is too loud, I think. No. Yep, so we do all that. We have home, then config directory, and then this. Yeah, so exactly the same logic. xdg config home exists, but Hitboxer directory does not. So this is config dir. Wait, what? Yeah, not log dir. You see, copy paste creeps in. Now config dir initted. Would not create directory to store config file. Time to mgdir. How much? 3, but config file itself does not, which is fine. Anything else is not expected. Yeah. Create a config file, because sdg config home or config does not exist. Yeah, and then they're initted. Now what do we do? This actually should probably yeah, so this should not be here, as well as I'm afraid this should not be here. So in my main, yeah, I should just init logging here, and then init logging will have this logic. Yeah, and where is my rotate log? Oh, I should have removed this. So init logging. Well, this is cross-platform part. Yeah, login log file path for writing, keep existing, blah blah blah. There you go. And then when we init settings, kind of same situation apply. We do this, and then instead of doing that, so this is kind of fine for Windows. So I'm gonna comment this out. Move this to Windows.jai, Windows specific logic. Now, settings file name. We don't do this. Read entire file, and then we just do config file path. This is what we do, literally. And then write entire file path. And return what? But why do we return it? Settings file name. Ah. Wait a second. This is actually kind of... I see. So I sort of... instead of having it as a global, I sort of have it on the... Well... I think it's fine. This probably should still work. Oops. So init logging, I need to be using current program state to string g. Nice, now we're segfaulting. My logger file length. What did I fuck up? I'm logging error from platform init. Oh, you know what? I am trying to log error before setting up my logger. This is bad. I literally don't have file anymore. I literally don't have file yet. I need to support this. I used to support this because I had this, you know, if debug, blah, blah, blah. I know what to do. In my logger, what I'm gonna do here is something like we do this formatted message, and instead of doing file length, because log file can be, well, it's not really like null, but it kind of has like a handle. But on Windows, it's gonna be also handle. So it's gonna be like an empty struct. So I need some kind of flag to know if logging initialized. I can inspect the file, but it means I will need to, because file doesn't you know, how they phrase it correctly. File doesn't have any like Boolean operator overloading, so I can't just say if not file. And I don't want to do it nullable here, so I should probably, because before I initialize logging, I don't want to call some kind of other functions to log. I want to just call same log error, but I want for it to transparently fall back to default logger in Jai. And for that to happen, I need in my logger fall through if there is no log file still, if file is not opened. For that, let me actually check where exactly I am segfaulting. So I am segfaulting on reading file length. Yeah, because file length itself does not handle errors. So you see, yeah, there you go. Yeah. So this is actually a bug in Jai. In implementation of this, it should be if not file handle, return what, like 0 false. This is what should do, what it should do. It just kind of assumes that if you call file length, then you have an open file. And it probably shouldn't. Let's see how Windows is implemented. Yeah, it also implemented like that. So this is like a small bug. Let me do so I can mail it in. I'll just probably mail the patch in because it's very easy. I just need to verify that I can achieve the same behavior on Windows. To do file length, at least on Linux, segfaults when you call it before file open. Mail fix in check Windows. Yeah, this is just for me, so I don't remember. Init logging. So yeah, I do init logging, and if not success, log error. And you see, like, I'm also trying to log error here. Else, I'll just init equals true. Yeah. So let me just literally add it to program state. Why not? I said this is a fat struct. So I think this should be fine. And then in my logger, I do a bunch of formatted message. And if I actually, instead of calling runtime support default logger, I can probably call the one from basic, and it will be slightly convenient. So there is a log right? Where's log? What the fuck is this? Is log a separate? Oh, there's a module. Wait. Where's logger? Am I stupid? Ah, it's in print. It's in print. I remember. Yeah. So it calls context logger here. Yeah. So it formats the message and then it calls context logger. Never mind. I can't call this from basic. I actually need to call runtime support default logger explicitly. And so let me do this. I have formatted message, and if not logging initted, then just runtime support default logger formatted message. Literally what we do. And return. And this is 1.1. Yeah. So let me see how I called it. Not this, but main. Yeah. Message data info. Okay. So message data info. There you go. And I think now we should be fine. Yeah, we don't seek fault anymore. And look at this. Yeah. So could not create config file because xdgconfig home does not exist. Huh? Why is grabbing get... Why does grabbing get printed to fucking std out? What? That should not happen. Because I know why. I fucked up. I fucked up by calling init logging after calling platform init. Yes, I cannot call this after I need the platform. I need to call it. I need to call it right after this part. Because this thing has a bunch of like initialization and a bunch of logging of its own. So I must call this. Do I have platform pre-init? I mean, let's be honest, it sounds like a meme, but realistically I should probably do like platform init logging. Like in init logging I should probably just like platform, you know, like find files or something. Right? Platform init, yeah, platform pre-init. Something like platform set logging and config file paths. I mean, I don't know how else do I call it, because that's what it is. And then I just put it somewhere, because there's also platform after window created, platform wake up main thread, platform wait for message, blah blah blah, right? There's like a bunch of those platform specific ones. And this is just one of these, right? And I can cut this entire logic out into here. Did not work. Fuck. Ah, yes. Because this thing... this stuff should get called before platform init. So, before platform init, we need to do this. Platform set login and config file paths. And I suppose this should have like a silent, not silent failure, but this is like a soft fail. This has like soft failure mode, right? And I think like ideally like there should be two different logging modes. So if nothing works, we just print to std error. Nothing we can do, right? Second tier is we can't initialize logging, but we can open a window. In this case, when you have a window running, there you go. Could not create config file. This is fine. Still, why is this shit printing here? This should not be the case. We'll figure it out. Actually, I know why. No, this is like so confusing. But yeah, init logging should get called before platform init. Never mind. So the second tier, what I was talking about is that, let's say I launch a window. I am able to launch a window, but then I am not able to initialize some shit. Instead of writing it to std out, I could explain like warning somewhere here, and or down below, like in an area, or have some like yellow circle that's pulsating that you need to click and see that, oh, we can't initialize logging, like logs won't be saved to file, if something breaks you won't know why, figure it out, or config can be read. It's, you know, something like when you launch Sway and you fucked up config file, instead of silently not working, Sway will show you a big ass message box at the top. So yeah, something like this. And Alacrity does the same things at the terminal emulator. Right, so if I, for example, config Alacrity toml, if I do, like, if I fuck it up, you see, warn, unused config key, blah blah blah. So this is a very, very good UX, because you don't need to find some fucking log file to see like an immediate error you maybe want to fix, right? So this is probably what I'm going to do. Yeah. This is like an ideal behavior that 1.0 of this program will surely have. But for now, it is what it is. I'm calling init logging here before I can do platform init. And now if I compile, yes, we see a bunch of stuff. No, could not create log, what? Not log file could not create a config file. Does not exist. Are you stupid? Am I stupid? Oh, there is no hitboxer. Fuck. Copy paste got me. There you go. Now we're good. And now hitboxer settings SOCD. Yeah. And it should only have this config version. Do not delete this. Yeah. Copy pasta once again. Yeah, this can now be nicely extracted. The only difference is that like extracting logs kind of annoying. Right? Because this has config. But yeah, it can be nicely extracted. I will do it later. So I will extract this logic. With this kind of stuff, I want to follow a rule of 3. Do you know what rule of 3 is, Chad? It's when before abstracting something away, you wait until it repeats at least 3 times. At least 3 times. Better if it's like more than 3 times. Because then you know how exactly you want to abstract something more. And so in this case, this pretty much identical code got repeated twice, but I want to have it repeat for the 3rd time when I will handle this logic on Windows. Until it gets painful. Yes, it's called rule of 3 because of, OOP slope like rule set like solid. It's just, what it is colloquially known for. In reality, it's the same principle that Casey's compression-oriented programming is. You just write the same code until it gets painful to repeat, and then you extract it. So yeah, in my case, now when I'm writing, I don't literally count, okay, I repeated it 3 times, I must extract it. No, in my case, I can extract it right away because I clearly know what the abstraction should be. Sometimes I do it after 2, sometimes I can do it after I repeated it like 10 times because it wasn't like a big deal to repeat it. Sometimes I never do it because repeating it is fine like forever. So yeah. But it is somewhat known by the rule of 3 or something. All good. So now we're fine. Now I can actually get the contents of my settings file and paste them here, right? And if I reset, recompile, oh, I couldn't read settings. Why is that? Because I nuked my settings. Shit, because there's some other copy paste. Right? This is commented out. How does this work? It's a short name. No, this is fine. Yeah, there you go. Serialized settings because it got serialized into the file. Yeah. So, so let me just not do this and write entire file config file path. Yeah, that should be it. And now we can have that. And now if I open my directory again, and I can wait, how do I your sort? It's S, yeah, like that. Settings.socd, where is it? Maybe blind, yeah, I'm blind. Yeah, there you go. And so now if I recompile, they don't get created here anymore. Nice, yeah. And I can bloop. Let me check if I actually dropped a little bit of some frames. And now I have this running, so if I recompile and click add lol9.exe, and now I can buzz opposite and el add escape. This is just my mappings. And yeah, that's it. And now if I, yeah, there's profile. It works. It works. It works. It works. W. Yeah, my bad. There's also a debug print raw. Yeah, this is one. This is the one I need to remove. Cool. And now staged. I can commit that. Config file location on Linux. And I guess that's gonna be it for today. Oof. Yeah, that's gonna be it for today. This was kind of like, I guess, a little change. I just changed location of couple files, but yeah, it's big. It is big for Linux users, at least. They're very picky about it. And next time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably either implement like logger thread with like single, consumer multiple producers, or I want to kind of rework the way I store bindings under the hood, because I'm not very happy about like hash tables and the way I'm using them. So yeah, I'll probably like handle that. But yeah, with that, I'm not gonna raid anyone today. Go find to watch somebody else, because I'm just like gonna fuck off and go to bed kind of late, and I have stuff to do tomorrow. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. I might stream tomorrow, I don't know yet. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, bye everyone, have nice rest of your days. Bye bye.